sabotage, which is the
Okay, good morning.
from invasion.
I'm actually listening to our local news. So, first of all, good morning. Welcome to the Overtaxed Taxpayer channel. My name's Overtaxed. So is yours. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. And click the little like button next to the subscribe button. And always leave a comment. I try to answer every comment. And that also helps promote my channel when you leave a comment and give a like button. Anyhow, listening to our local news here in Tucson, Arizona. And this is just one of the items I'm going to be talking about, is they're going to start to dump illegal aliens, just bust them right into the middle of the city and dump them on the streets. Now, normally, they'll bust in those illegal aliens and they put them up in hotels and whatnot. And different types of homeless shelters and whatnot. But those facilities have filled up. Now what they're planning on doing, and it just leaked out because they weren't going to tell the citizens of Tucson. It just leaked out. They're just going to dump the people right in the middle of the street and let them fend for themselves. What that's going to do is, you know, even a good person, when put into a situation like being dumped in the middle of the street with no home, no electricity, no running water, is going to turn to crime. So we can expect this situation to exacerbate crime to an all-time high, as well as the other cities around the country that this is occurring to as well. I also wanted to make one more comment and move away from this immigration. There's been so many government mandates that we increase minimum wage. It drove up wage increases. It drove up the prices, is what I meant to say. And people are complaining now. And this wasn't just the doing of minimum wage hikes. It's just one variable. Obviously, there's other economic reasons why gas and food and everything are going through the roof. But this is just one of the factors that help drive this inflation, these high prices, is these government mandates that minimum wage goes up. And we've talked about this time and time again, how bad it is. The people who get minimum wage increases do not get additional purchasing power. They get a minimum wage increase. They jump from, let's say, $9 an hour to $10 an hour, but the prices of the products they need to buy on payday goes up. They're still only able to buy the same amount of goods and services. It doesn't help them. So how would you, and we won't talk about stealing an election or getting illegals to vote in order to steal election. I don't want to talk about that right now. But how do you lower the prices of goods and services? Well, one variable is to bring in a bunch of illegal aliens. All the employers, I won't say all, but you know what I mean. A lot of employers will snag them up, get rid of their higher paid $15 an hour minimum wage employees and employ these folks. That might be part of the plan to improve the economy, which is obviously an illusion, because you and I would in theory get laid off. Therefore, our personal economies would tank, right? So I'm just thinking out loud here. Anyway, on to the next subject. Nordic pipeline. 3 explosions. Terrorist act. Sabotage. Fueling multiple countries with natural gas. Actually, From what I understand, it wasn't completed, but it was pressurized with the gas. Now I'm going to ask you a question. Out of all the news channels, all the news acronyms, the 3-letter acronyms, you know, CNN, NBC, and so forth, out of all of them, which, I don't know why I got a frog in my throat this morning, and I don't have anything to drink. Out of all of them, and I'll admit, before I start getting the comments, none of them are perfect. But out of all of them, which one has been the most, I didn't say completely, which one of them have been the most honest, and which one of them, because it's only one channel, and which one of them have been found out, because over time you find out who's been lying and who's been telling the truth. So out of all of them, which one of them has been truly the most honest and trustworthy? Because it's that channel also that is reporting, and they even admit it's just in theory, but it's strong circumstantial evidence that our own government did this sabotage. I'm not going to tell you what channel it is, because that's not the discussion here. But even them, and they over time have been proven to be the most honest and accurate, I won't say truthful, most accurate news. Have they been perfect? I got to reiterate this because people hear what they want to hear. No, they have not been perfect. No, they are slightly biased. But I have to admit, they're not biased to the demonic side of the political aisle. So, if you reach back, what was it? Beginning of 2021, Joe Biden and a few other government officials threatened the Nordic pipeline before this bombing just occurred yesterday or the day before. 3 explosions, 3 fractures in the pipeline, leaking untold amount of methane into the atmosphere. Horrible environmental problem that a lot of the news is not talking about. This ranks, they say, the worst environmental problem in national history. In world history. Man-made, that is. Man-made. It blows away every oil leak, underground, underwater, ocean leak. This is bad. So back in January, February, government officials threatened Russia if they, and I'm paraphrasing here, if you invade, if you step out of line, the Nordic pipeline will cease. I'm paraphrasing. They said that. And then all of a sudden, yesterday or the day before, I could be mistaken, 3 explosions, nobody caught. Now, who has the technology, because that's an underwater pipeline, who has the technology to do something like that? 3 explosions and pretty significant distance apart from each other. It's not like a little fishing boat can go out with a little TNT. I'm oversimplifying it, and then get over a few hundred miles over real quick, plant another bomb, and then a few hundred miles over and plant another bomb. Even a shrimp trawler couldn't do that. Somebody with some technology had to do this. Somebody with the financial and technology, whatever. You know what I'm talking about. Was able to do this. So, in my opinion, and in this in this news channel's opinion, it had to be a government. Technological ability. See, I'm not totally retarded. I just had a brain freeze. I had a Joe Biden moment where I turn and shake somebody's hand that it's not there, and then he fakes it, kind of words something to somebody that's not there to try to make it look like it was all planned. But think about this. I want to go a step further, because it's not just the fact that a government might have done this. Not proven yet, but I want you to think of something, because government's been doing this shit all along to each other. These are the same governments that want you to get on with the Green New Deal, that the environment, life-sustaining environment, is going to cease to end in 22 years. Oh my God! Get the toilet paper and wipe your ass, because you're scared now, aren't you? Vote for us. We're going to save you. We're going to save you now. If you vote for us, you'll make it past those 22 years. Just vote for us, because it's all about the environment. All about the environment, folks. What do? Who's doing this? And whoever did this knew the catastrophic environmental ramifications. So they really don't care about the environment, whoever did this, our government. They really don't care about the environment. They care about controlling you and getting your tax dollars to fight against a problem that doesn't exist. Well, overtaxed, the globe is warming. It's just warming. It does exist. Well, no, actually, scientists are coming out saying that every planet in our solar system, subtracting distances from the sun, the percentage of distance from the sun, has been warming up. So when our planet heats up, so are the others. And when our planet cools down, so are the other planets. It's the cycle, not of the planet, but of the sun. So think about this. They just create these issues so they can tax you, to scare you out of your tax dollars, so they can protect you from something that doesn't exist. Because if they truly cared about this, whoever did it, whatever country did this, because every country now it's the environment, it's the environment. The EU, it's the environment, it's the environment. The only country who doesn't give a damn about the environment, from what I understand, is China. But think about that. If this news channel was right and was our government, they really don't care about the environment, do they? So now we got 6 weeks. Is it 6 weeks to midterm elections? And already, like clockwork, the news, not you, not your neighbors, but the news is telling you what's on your mind, what's important to you, what you should be voting for, what you are stressed out over. Well, polls say that the American public is really concerned about abortion. Yeah, I like to meet the woman who says, you know, I have a bucket list. I want to go to Hawaii someday. I like to go to Disneyland. I like to skydive, and maybe one day I'd like to get an abortion. They're taking my abortion rights away? I like to meet that woman, because I don't think anybody is too concerned about abortions. Obviously, in the time of need, incest, rape, I'm sure they're concerned about it. There's other times when a woman might be concerned about it, you know, just didn't take the proper precautions. But it's at that moment they're concerned about it. It's not a year before that accident happens that they're concerned about it. No, the only people that are concerned about it is, again, the government creating a false narrative, telling you that American public, the 90% of the American public is up in arms about this abortion thing. They're not. The only people that are concerned about abortions are them, and then the activists that they hire. I'll say it again, the government and the activists they hire to go out and protest in front of Planned Parenthood and places like that. Those are the only people. And obviously the people who have an emergency. But those people, I know I'm repeating myself, are not concerned about abortion 6 months or a year before they have a accident. I say accident, you know, made love, didn't take the proper precautions. That's what I mean by accident. And obviously, you know, rape and incest is not an accident. But even those people, they only think about it when they need it. That's so. The news is telling you what you should be concerned about. Not the fact that milk is $5 a gallon for the generic brand. No, not that. Not that gas is, for regular gas, $4 a gallon. Some places it's, for regular, it's $4.55. Don't know, though that's not the concern. It's the polar bears and abortion. Not the fact that we've legalized all the gangs to go out and pillage businesses and beat up people and kill people and shoot people for no reason. No, those are not your concerns. Just listen to how the news is talking. You know, one party runs on what they've done and what they plan on doing. The other party just insults their enemy. They're fascists, they're Nazis. They're fascists, they're Nazis. Well, what are you going to do if we vote you in? Let's not worry about that. We need to talk about the fascists and Nazis that might get into office. And once we deal with that problem, we can deal with what my plan is to bring down prices of gas and crime, you know? But right now it's the Nazis, the fascists, the white supremacists, you know, any adjective. Those are the real criminals. That's the real problem. And then we'll tackle abortion and the Green New Deal, and then we'll think about lowering your freaking generic milk that has steroids and all kinds of pesticides in it. But right now, don't you worry about a thing. We got you covered, folks.